Just met this group of people who asked me to tell me about my experiences today at the Khaled Said demonstration march against police brutality and for human rights, I assume. And so we met up with a group of people. It was originally scheduled for Tahrir Square, and then we moved from there to I'm not entirely sure of the place. And we started a small demonstration, maybe 20 people, and soon the numbers grew, and we started to move through the streets in downtown Cairo. And it was a non-violent protest moving through the street with many people.
That was in Tahrir Square.
Near Tahrir Square.
Okay.
I'm not sure of the name of it.
Okay.
And yeah, it was moving through the streets, and people were calling out what, I don't know. I'm sorry, my Arabic is only very small.
Okay.
But yeah, so we carried on, and then at one point the police formed a cordon in front of us, and yeah, at that point the demonstration stopped and tried to move back the other way, and were kind of hemmed in. And at this point, people started pushing, and kind of violence sort of started to erupt. Nothing too heavy, but still, there was a few punches being thrown and people pulling left and right. It's hard to say who started it. It's both sides equally accountable, I would say. Yeah, so just after that, there was kind of the police were ushering people away.
Where were you standing?
I was standing more or less right in the middle. I was very close to the front and more or less in the middle of things, not on the front line where people were getting killed, but very close. I was with a photographer friend of mine who was taking photos, and I was sort of trying to do my best to be aware of her and trying to battle her. And then she was taking photos, and we were one of the last people to make our way out of this place where the police were funneling us through. And yeah, she was very scared, and we were in a doorway, and yeah, at that point the police were kind of trying to pull us and get us to move down the street. And at this point, I was hit on the back of my neck, just here.
The police, they.
Yeah, I mean, it was a policeman and
They were hitting everybody, and they just hit you, or?
Yeah, it was. They were sort of forcefully encouraging us to leave, and throwing kicks and punches a little bit.
And you got kicked in.
I got kicked in the arse, and punched in the back a few times and slapped on the back of the neck, which was nothing too bad. I think some people really got beaten up quite badly. What's that? From what I saw, yes.
They were arrested?
I didn't see that specifically, but I've heard that people were arrested. It's hard to know exactly what happened, but there were some people. I don't know, I'd be speculating. But yeah, there were some people who were in the rally earlier on who, when we regrouped later on at the Syndicate of Journalists, weren't there anymore. So
what happened to your friend?
My friend, well, she was with me, and I was trying to protect her, and we sort of ran off down the street as we were sort of being pursued a little bit by the police. Then we regrouped with a small group of other people, maybe 20, and we walked to I believe the Ministry of Justice, and we were outside there. At that point, there weren't many of us, and we were initially going to regroup there, but the police moved us on. There was a small number, and to be honest, they showed some reason. There was a number of people who were very emotional, and clearly didn't their
But they were pushing everybody and just beating people?
Yeah, the thing is, I didn't see that many.
But you were one of the people who were pushed, right? You were pushed.
I was pushed and I was hit a little bit, but nothing too bad. I mean, yes, it shouldn't happen at all.
But you're not Egyptian, and you're not even Egyptian, and you were.
They were telling us to move, and I wasn't moving. So I was trying to protect my friend. There was much more hostility than there needed to be, but in that situation of heightened emotion on all sides, it's not right, but it's understandable. Let's say I don't know. I shouldn't even say it, whatever.
But you know the whole story of Khaled Said and what happened to him.
I'm aware. I have been told a story about it. Yeah. That seems to. I can't say exactly what is true about the story, but it appears like a gross case.
Do you know that he wasn't the first one?
It seems most likely, I mean, as far as I understand, there's 12 to 15,000 people detained without, without being given the due process of the justice system, which is a shocking number. But his case was one that just seemed particularly horrific.
He was brutally murdered. Did you see his picture after the beating?
Yeah, I did.
It was very shocking.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dan.